In 1539, the conquistadors had expected to find savages and gold. Instead, they found an intelligent, ancient civilization. They named the people Pueblo Indians or City Indians.
Anasazi are believed to be the ancestors of the Tiguas, whose spectacular ruins lie in Chaco Canyon and other sites in the Four Corners region. The Anasazi tribe were Pueblo Indians. They crafted fine pottery and irrigated their farmland and lived in 3 and 4 story adobe dwellings. The Tiguas built similar dwellings, made pottery, and practiced the same style of farming.
300 years ago, the Indians, Native Americans from Tigua tribe, came to settle in El Paso, Texas. The Tigua's life in New Mexico came to a halt in 1598 when Don Juan de Oñate wanted to colonize the Southwest using brute force. If the Indians didn't submit to the Spanish rule or to Catholicism, they were punished. In 1680, the Tigua grew tired and revolted against the Spanish, kicking them out of New Mexico, sending them back to southern Texas, which is modern-day El Paso.
A group of roughly 300 Tiguas went with the Spaniards. It is uncertain whether they went as unwilling refugees or as traders. Upon their arrival in El Paso, the Tiguas were forced into labor, building a mission church that still stands today. On the church there is a small plaque that says, "For the civilizing and Christianizing of the Tigua Indians." The tribe made the desert bloom, digging canals whose water brought forth fields of wheat and corn, and spectacular gardens and vineyards that produced pears, figs, and wine grapes. The Tiguas started off with 17,000 acres of land from King Charles V, but due to the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, Texas legislature allowed towns like El Paso to give public lands to homesteaders. Settlers quickly seized the tribe's farmland. By the turn of the century, they were left with only 66 acres.
In 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson officially recognized the tribe with more than 1,500 members. They are a sovereign Indian nation that regulates their own affairs despite having to assimilate to the Mexican American culture and continue to preserve their ancient traditions. As a modern Indian, Mike Pedraza was a bus driver for 25 years at Isleta High School. At the time, students did not know he was an Indian. When seniors of Isleta High School presented Mike with a thank you plaque to their favorite bus driver, they didn't even know they were presenting to the governor of the Tiguas.
Mike Pedraza describes the life of a modern Indian. An Indian in the city sometimes becomes invisible. He wears a costume of city tribes of white men. Like everyone else, he learns to perform the rituals of coffee breaks and the war dances of the commuters on the freeway. But we are still Indians, always.
Boom.
If you'd like to know more about the Northern Isleta and Southern Isleta tribes, feel free to visit the Centennial Museum at UTEP.
Our job and obligation to keep their legacy alive through our dances, our chants, our ways of life, and not let that die out.